everyone, I am Kathy from Kathy Creates, where I try to inspire you to create. Come on into the craft room. I have something super cute. It's very fall. I've transitioned into my fall decor. And let me get us pulled up here and we will get started. When you get here, say hello. Let me know you're here. So Mom can be pulling comments. Mom will be pulling comments here shortly. Let's see, let me turn off my volume. There we go. Okay. Miss Tracy's going to get us shared into the group here momentarily. And I am going to go ahead and get started. Hello, Francis. Hello, Sharon. Welcome, welcome, ladies. Okay. So what I'm going to do today is take this gorgeous napkin. Oh, look how pretty this napkin is. We are going to decoupage it onto this jar. We're going to fancy up the top. We're going to take this little pillar candlestick holder that I got at Dollar Tree, flip it upside down, and we're going to marry these together and make this adorable little lantern. Okay? Hello, my mama. Mama is on here, so when you see her, just say hello. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to paint this because this is a little too shiny for me. You guys know I like the dinged up look, and this is very shiny. So I'm going to paint it with some white chalk paint. Whenever you're painting something that's got a glaze on it like this does, if I can get this open, there we go. You always want to use chalk paint if you're going to paint glass or anything that's got like a glaze, glass, metal, those types of things. Hey, Bonnie. So I'm going to start with just painting. Wow, this is super thick. Okay. So we're going to start by painting this guy. And it's not going to look a whole lot different other than it's going to have chalk paint, and it's going to allow us to distress it a little. Because I am going to take some of my wax and dinge it up a little here and there. But to do that, I have to paint it with this chalk paint or it's just going to wipe off. Chalk paint gives it something to kind of grip to. So that's what we're going to start with, is painting this guy up. So how's everybody's day been today? Mine was super busy, but good. I have an employee off in my department, so that means I have to step up and do their job. So, on top of my own job. Joys of being the boss, right? Especially when there's only 2.5 of us. So there's not a lot of room to delegate there. Okay. So we almost have this painted. This is going to just take a second to do. You don't need to worry about the very top of this, or in this case it would be the bottom, but we're going to use it as the top because that is going to be covered. So I think this is pretty good. Again, we don't need it perfect because we are going to dinge it up a little, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to make sure I've got it pretty well covered. I do. Okay, so we're going to set that aside and let it dry. Let's go ahead and paint. I don't think this is going to show it all, but we're going to paint it just in case. Okay. We'll go ahead and paint that with the white chalk paint too. And again, I don't really care if this is covered completely because I think you're not even going to be able to see this with what I have planned for the top, but we're going to just for safety's sake, we're going to go ahead and give it a quick coat, just in case. If I can hold on to this without wearing it too much. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So we're going to set that aside. Now, normally when I do these jars, because I do this a fair amount, I've made several of these over the years, I like to frost the jar first Typically that's so that my napkin pops and that it shows better. But I'm going to completely cover this jar with this napkin. I'm going to do it on all 4 sides. So I don't think it's necessary. So I did not spray it this time. And the napkin is a little bit darker. Normally they have like a white background, but this one does not, as you can see. So I think we're going to be okay. So let me pull my tape here so we can separate our napkin. Hey, Miss Tracy. Hello, Miss Bonnie. That's right, Bonnie. Keeps us out of trouble. That is right. And I have been working on things for our Apple Butter Festival that's coming up in October. I started prepping some of that stuff. That's what I've been working on in my spare time because I have so much of it. But you know. Okay. So this is a 3-ply napkin. So I have removed the other 2 layers. We're going to throw those away. It is a pretty napkin. This came from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago, I believe. All right, so what we're going to do is, I think, yeah, this is going to work out fairly well, actually. I think what we're going to do is, I don't think I'm going to use, should I use my water pen? Let's see if I can find my water pen. That will be the deciding factor. Oh, it's right here, I think. Is there water in it? There is water in it. Okay, good. Hey, Miss Mary. Miss Mary from Ocean Breeze Me. Hello, hello. Get some water going in this thing. There we go. Okay. I'm going to set my my paper towel aside for a second. So I just want to... All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this Blessed and Thankful because it's not going to fit. So we're just going to take that off. So my easiest way is using this water pen. Just go right along there because I don't really like the sharp edges. I much prefer the tear method, and this allows you to get more of an even tear. Okay, and it just goes with my whole vintage vibe. I did order my shirt. I ordered Mama's shirt. We have our shirts on the way. If you're wondering what we're referring to, it is for the Craft Around the Clock meetup. Okay, so we're going to go right there. We're going to do the same thing. And we're going to go right along this line. It just lets you tear these so much easier. Look at that. Look how easy that was. Simple, simple, simple. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to use those, so we're not going to get rid of them, but I do want to wipe up my water here. Okay, now I need to go on my edges here. So we're going to go, let's go to that line, and on this side we're going to go to that line. Okay. So with this napkin, it's a plaid, so it's really nice that it's got these lines for me to use to line things up better. Okay. All right, side 1. Actually, I need to take some off the bottom, I think. Yep, and we gotta take more off the bottom. We gotta go up to this line. We're gonna lose a little bit of that little white pumpkin down there, but that's okay. There we go, that fits. All right, and then we're gonna Mod Podge this on. Hello, Mariana Durman from Nebraska. Welcome, welcome. Why is my Mod Podge got so much crud at the top? It's almost like it was leaking, like I didn't have it shut tight. Let's a bummer. We are getting so excited to go on this trip. I am so excited. I cannot wait to meet everyone. If you're going on the trip, comment below Pennsylvania. I would love to know who all is going to be out there and joining us. All right, the first one is on. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so cute. Okay, there's the first one. Look how cute that's going to be. All right, so I'm not going to dry it quite yet because we are going to do this side next. Hello, Cindy Clark. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Hey, Karen. And we're going to do this side. Who likes to do napkin art? I love doing napkin art. I use napkins on a lot of things. A lot of projects with napkins. And the beauty of this is it's going to just kind of melt into each other and you're not even really going to be able to tell. I thought about just doing one side and spraying it, but I thought it would be kind of cool to do it all the way around because then I can put it on like a tiered tray or something like that where it's going to get seen from all sides. I think we need to take a little more off this side. We will be going to PA next Thursday for our soon-to-be, whoops, I lost your comment, Mary. Granddaughter's adoption. How exciting. Oh, that's very exciting. How fun. Bonnie, you love these napkins too? Yeah, I do too. Okay, so I think we're good there. So let's go ahead. Just put our Mod Podge on. We're going to go ahead and overlap that edge of the last one. Kind of wrap it around a little. Okay. All right, so before we move on to the next two, we're going to go ahead and dry this and make sure it's dry. Because I'm going to have to lay it down on the side, and I don't want to do that if it's still tacky. And look how this just kind of melts right into the next one. Isn't that going to be cool? It's just going to go all the way around. Let's dry this real quick. Oops, why is my... I like playing with evening. And we're going to go through and seal it when we're done. And I'm going to wait and do that until we've got them all done. Everything. There we go. That makes more sense to Miss Tracy. It's like, what does she mean by evening? Okay, now we're going to bring back this one. And we're going to line this up again. Okay, so it's right there. Yeah, Tracy, you've kind of gotten into the resin a little bit too, haven't you? Which is right up Mom's alley. Mom is our resident resin queen here at Kathy Creates. I don't do much with resin, but Mom sure does. So if you got resin questions, she's your gal. Not me. I've played with it a little, but that's about it. Cindy loves it. Thank you, Cindy. I gotta get this edge off. And let's see, where do we gotta do on this side? Right there. Okay. Go ahead and do this one while I'm here. We'll do both. Oh, it's gonna tear that one first. That's fine. Okay. Perfect. That's actually a little long, but that's okay. That'll work. Okay. Yes, right? Pumpkin garland with those pumpkin napkins inspired by you. Oh, thank you. You hear that, Mom? We need another resin live. She did one a while back. I can't remember if it was my shoulder surgery or my throat surgery. One of my surgeries. She did a live for me, and she did some resin. I did not get enough Mod Podge under there, so we're going to just dab it on right there. Yeah, resin's just not my thing. I mean, I think the projects are pretty, but they're just not my style. So I don't do resin. We're gonna cut this off some more. Maybe Mom can teach me at the meetup. Yeah. You know what, Mary? I thought about, and I don't know if there's going to be space and or time. I thought about bringing everybody a kit. All the creators, like Thursday night when everybody first gets there. I don't know if there would be space. I thought about just bringing like a small little something, like an ornament or something like that. I thought that'd be kind of fun. But I don't know if there will be time and or space to do that. Okay, I think we about got this, ladies. I love this because it's just kind of wrapping around and melting into it itself. Okay, now I need to take my little plate here, put a little Mod Podge on it. We need to go over this whole thing. Now you still want to be a little bit delicate when you're doing this because you still can tear your napkin. You were thinking about bringing a few things too, Mary? Yeah, when it gets a little closer, I'll get with Tracy and find out exactly like our itinerary and stuff, what the plans are. And then maybe I'll have a better idea. It was just a thought. I'm not positive we'll do it, but I thought it might be kind of fun. Okay, I think we have, oh, no, I see some edges popping up over here. We're going to get those down. And I think we have our jar complete. Yep, I think we're good. Okay. Let's get this guy dry. Exactly. We'll wait and see what the itinerary is. And I love doing this method where you get a little bit of wrinkles going on, because again, you guys know that's totally my aesthetic. I like the wrinkles. Look how pretty this is. It just goes all the way around. You can't really tell where one stops and the next one starts. Just a pretty little fall jar. But we're not done with it yet. Oops. Don't break the jar, Kathy. That would be bad. And I believe this jar came from Dollar Tree. So the jar and the base that, geez, Kathy, quit smacking it with your dryer, came from Dollar Tree. Okay, yep, we're dry. We're good there. All right, so we're good there. We're done with that. We're done with this guy. Get rid of this trash. Okay, now on to the fun stuff. Let's make this cute. We're not quite dry here, so let's dry this real quick. It matches me. Exactly, Bonnie. Yeah. I'm no spring chicken myself, so yeah, I get it. All right, so this went from shiny and glossy to just a very matte finish, which, as you guys know, is more me. Okay. So now we are going to marry these two. They fit almost perfectly. If you look at that base, look how tight that is. That's like perfect. When I was going through my stash of stuff, I was like, ooh, that's going to work nicely. All right, so let's get, where's my E6000? Here is my E6000 that I can never get open, so I always have to use my pliers. Did you get your kit? I thought you'd like it. So Miss Tracy is one of my original subscription group members, and she just got her subscription box for the next month. And it is cute. I think that's good, because then we're going to go back with some hot glue for a temporary hold. All right, and we're going to come in with some hot glue. Phew, E6000 smelly. Yep, I think we got that pretty square. So let's just push that down and hold. You know that plaid is coming. Probably. I'm just going to hold this for a moment. Let this dry for a second. Okay, and then we're just going to set this aside and let it just kind of chill, and we're going to work on our lid. Okay, So I'm going to take this little styrofoam piece, which is also perfect, which I think came from Dollar Tree. Okay, we're going to put that on the top, and then we're going to jazz it up. I think this will just be easier to put some floral into it if it's got the styrofoam, instead of just gluing everything to the top. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so now I have my Spanish moss. So the first thing we're going to do is cover this with Spanish moss, which is going to make a giant mess. So let's pull our napkin back over here. Move this out of the way for now. Oh, don't get glue strings on your computer, Cappy. I love this stuff, but it's such a mess. Does everybody still use it even though it's so messy? I love the look of it though. I think we all expect it every time she crafts. Yes, you probably do. I know this looks like a lot, but it won't be when I smush it down, and then we're going to trim it, give it a haircut. But we need to, I want to pretty much cover the lid and the styrofoam. So my styrofoam will melt as I put this on, but that's okay. Try to push this down without getting my fingers in the glue. Hey, Miss Cheryl Cochran. Hello, hello, lady. How have you been? I agree, Bonnie. Some projects would just not look right without, ouch, dang it. I just said don't stick your finger in the glue, and I stuck my finger in the glue. All right, we're going to come around on the sides here and push that down. I'm going to look for one of my little finger doodads. I cannot burn myself this time. I just got to remember which finger I put it on, so I use the right finger. Again, we're going to cover most of this with flowers and greenery and things, so it's not going to show a whole lot, but I want to get as much of it covered as I can. You just woke up, you silly girl. Oops, we're gluing it to the table, or to the napkin. All right, I think we got just a little bit here to put down. Okay, so we've got our lid pretty much covered. Looks like kind of a hot mess right now, but it won't. It'll look better as soon as we finish up what we're doing here. I think we're done with this, so let's put this out of the way. And we're going to clean up this mess a little bit. Empty that into the trash can. All right. There we go. Okay, now we're going to start building this. Get my wire cutters. And we have a bunch of different things here. So we have these little pumpkin picks that came from Dollar Tree. I thought they were cute. Then we also have this, I believe also, no, this came from Hobby Lobby. It's a eucalyptus, but it's kind of got a little bit of that fallish colors. This came from Hobby Lobby. These were $10.99. Of course, get them when they're 40% off. I believe this was from Hobby Lobby. Yes, it was. This was $1.99. Again, get it when it's 40% off. And then this was Joann Fabrics as they were going out of business. $5.99, and I don't remember what it was on sale. It was when they were going out of business, so I got it for next to nothing. Oh no, you're fighting 2 ear infections. Girl, that's awful. Okay, so we're going to start with our greenery. And I think we're going to add some more greenery besides this. I think we'll add some of this trailing stuff. Let me pull some of these off of our garland that I have right here by my table. Just for this reason. This is a garland and it's a trailing. As you can see, this is what it looks like. So we're going to pull these off. These are a little long, so we're going to cut them in half. So now it's just about playing with the floral. And gluing them in there. So these don't have a wire, so these literally just have to be glued in. The other ones have wire that will be able to poke down into that styrofoam. I almost used my non-protected finger to push down into that glue. You guys do that too? I do it all the time. It's like, why did I put the little protector on if I'm not going to use it? So we're just going to go around starting with the base of these. And then we're just going to build from there. And I'm by far no floral designer. I just play until I like how it looks. Okay. Let's do at least one more, maybe 2 more. We'll see. I think this is going to be super cute when we're all done. Where'd the other piece of that one go? Nope, those are glued on. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Need another glue stick. Mom, I should have had you get me more glue sticks too, because I think I'm almost out. Mom made a trip to Hobby Lobby today and was asking me, do you need anything? And I had her get some paint, but other than that, that was all I could come up with at the time. Now I'm thinking, oh, I should have had her do this and that. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Kind of looks a little wonky, but it'll get better. Okay, so then let's go in with some of these guys. Now these will be able to poke down into that styrofoam. Okay, like so. And we're just going to kind of keep going around until we get it how we want it. Cut some of these off. They're a little long. Let's see, can I get... I think they'll work. We'll just bring them in more. Okay, that's what we got going on. It's just going to be this cute little bundle on the top of the, it might be enough of those. I don't want to go too crazy with those. Now these we're going to have to probably glue in because I don't think they're on a wire. No, they're not really. So we're just going to kind of go in and fill in with these guys because I think these will be cute in there. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome. Cheryl loves sunflowers. Me too. I'm not a big yellow fan, but I do like some sunflowers. I got glue strings everywhere. Just kind of spreading these out a little bit. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got 10 minutes. We're doing okay. We're getting close. All right, now let's add some of this. I do really like this stuff. I think these we're going to have to glue in as well. I don't want those big long stems. We're just going to have a lot of hot glue in here. Come back through with our heat tool and get rid of all those glue strings. There's going to be a lot of them. Okay, that's what we've got so far. It's coming together. We need something right there at the top. We need one of these at the top. Let's see if we can get. Yeah, that looks better. It looked a little flat. That helped. Okay, let's add some of these guys. We'll see what these I should be able to just poke in. So I'm just twisting over this. Yes, you're right, Cheryl, they do. So I'm just twisting over that stem to hopefully get a sturdy enough one I can poke into that styrofoam. It's not working though. Oh yeah, it did. That one went in. Okay. No, he is not going with us to PA. His words were, I would be miserable. He would be miserable. I'm like, well, thanks a lot, honey, but... Let's see. I want one right here. I can't find any styrofoam. I got too much glue in here, I think. There we go. There, I got some real estate. All right, let's do one more. All right, and now I have one of these little pumpkins. I'm going to cut the stem. I wish I had a stick in here because I don't like that stem. That's an ugly little stem. Oops, oops, oops. I don't think I have anything in here I can shove in it. Well, we'll just flip it over. We'll put it in like that. And we're going to do the same with this one. I'm going to chuck this guy over here. Yes, it's just going to be the ladies. And then I got a little darker one here we're going to add. We got 5 minutes. Just enough time to make a bow. And I think we're just going to poke this one right here. Try not to get them too symmetrical, but they kind of are. I didn't really plan that, but they just kind of happen that way. Okay. So all we're going to do is add a little bow to that. And then we're done. All right, so let's look at, of course, there it is. You guys knew it was coming. Get that off. Move that before I burn myself. I'm just going to make a simple little bow, I think, for it. And I think I might even stick it on a stem and let it just be up there at the top. I think I want to do some raffia maybe. Let's see. But I think I want to just do a simple like little shoestring with the raffia, not anything crazy. Well, that didn't work at all. I've got a weird size in there. There we go. I had a short one in there and it was not working. Yeah, I think I like that. Hi, Linda. So I am going to do this like I normally do as far as tying it goes. We're going to flop it over. I want that raffia right in the center. We'll trim up our ends here on our raffia in a second. I just want to get it kind of even. I'm going to get it in here first before I... All right, where did some of those stems go? I just cut off. Here we go. This will work. I'm just going to use this for my bow. I'm just cutting off those little nubs that the flowers were on. So it'll go down into my styrofoam. Okay, this is probably too too long, but it'll work. So we're going to tie it around this, and then I'm also going to hot glue it so it stays on. Just put a big wad of hot glue on the top of that there. And I already lost my little finger. I don't know where it went. I do not know where it's at. So we're going to try to do this without getting burned. I'm probably going to have to cut the stem down. Oh, it won't even go in. Let's go ahead and cut it. It's too long. I just stuck my finger in that glue. Thank goodness it's cooled down. It's not as hot. So it did not burn me, shockingly. There we go. I want these tails to kind of come down a little. And then we're going to cut them. Okay. There is my little lid. And I'm running out of time to distress. I'm out of time. But I will show you what this is going to look like. I've got a little tea light, battery operated, that I'm going to put down in here. And I'm going to go back with my antique wax, don't you worry. And I'm putting my lid on. All right. Tell me what you think of him. I think he's precious. I need to do some trimming. As you can see, that one's a little crazy. But I think he's really cute. So let me know what you think. And I will see you all soon. All right. Thanks so much, ladies. Bye-bye.